Hello everyone, welcome back to one more video session. In this session, I'm going to talk about the second autosomal linked recessive trait disorder, that is phenylketonuria. Very simple, very easy. This could be asked for 3 marks in your board examination. Even it is also important for NEET. It's very simple. First, we are going to draw a homologous chromosome, that is the autosome. Okay, so this is the autosome, which is our 12th chromosome. There is a gene which is situated on the 12th chromosome. Then this gene is responsible for the production of one enzyme called as phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme. What is the function of phenylalanine hydroxylase? It is necessary, responsible for the conversion of a normal natural amino acid which is taken in the form of food, that is called as phenylalanine. It is nothing else present in our food. Phenylalanine. And it has to be converted into tyrosine, another amino acid. Okay, and as a result, the tyrosine can be easily absorbed by our intestine. The gene which is responsible for the conversion of this amino acid to this amino acid is PAH, which is present or produced from the gene which is situated on the 12th chromosome. This is the thing to remember. Okay, and now for example, if this is the gene which is now mutated, it is mutated, and when this chromosome, the gene which is mutated present on this chromosome combines with another chromosome which also having the same type of mutated gene, this is recessive now, both are recessive chromosomes, we are having recessive genes or mutated genes, and as a result the PAH is not synthesized in this case. This is the one. The PAH, phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme, is not synthesized. As a result, the phenylalanine cannot get converted into tyrosine, and due to that it gets accumulated. It gets accumulated in our body. Finally, it gets converted itself into another toxic material which is called as phenylpyruvic acid. Phenylpyruvic acid is toxic for our body, which leads to mental retardedness. Okay, so this is the thing to remember. When an enzyme is present, obviously conversion is possible. When enzyme is absent, obviously it will result in phenylpyruvic acid, which is highly toxic to our body, which leads to the mental retardedness. So phenylketonuria is a very good example for pleiotropy. You may get a question for 1 mark. Define pleiotropy. What is pleiotropy? Pleiotropy is very simple. It is right here. It is one gene responsible for multiple phenotypic expression. Here, this gene is responsible for metabolism. If failure in the gene is also responsible for mental retardedness. If everything goes well, then obviously we are normal in the case of metabolism as well as the brain development. That is the multiple phenotypic expression. Okay, so I'll write PPP, multiple phenotypic expression. Single gene is responsible for many phenotypic expression, that is called as pleiotropy. You may get a question, define pleiotropy, give an example. The example is phenylketonuria, which is a inborn metabolic disorder. That is, it is present during the time of birth, and the duration could vary person to person. Okay, the symptoms may vary from person to person. It may be like severe in some person, it may be moderate in some person. Okay, so this is phenylketonuria. Let us learn the third autosomal linked recessive trait disorder, that is thalassemia. It is a newly introduced concept, so you have to be very careful. You have to learn on this. It's very easy because you know the basics of sickle cell anemia, where exactly the genes which are situated for both alpha chain and beta chain for hemoglobin. You know it. What is the definition of thalassemia? It is the reduction in the rate of synthesis of alpha chain or beta chain in a hemoglobin. This is called as thalassemia. What is the difference between sickle cell anemia and thalassemia? In sickle cell anemia, because of the mutation in one of the gene present on the 11th chromosome, which leads in the abnormal formation of hemoglobin, which forms the sickle shape in RBC. In thalassemia, you will not see sickle shaped RBCs. Instead of that, you see very less number of hemoglobin molecules in the RBC. This leads to like kind of a symptom where a person feel anoxic, or maybe like he is not getting sufficient oxygen because the number is now reduced. Correct? Okay. So here I have written chromosome number 11, which is responsible for the production of beta chain, because there is a gene which is called as HBB gene. HB means hemoglobin, B means the beta chain. of the hemoglobin. This is responsible. How many genes are there? If you consider the 11th chromosome, there are 2 genes, and these 2 genes are situated on different chromosomes. That is homologous itself, correct? This is one chromosome, this is the other chromosome. Okay, here we have one HBB and here we have another HBB. Please remember it, because there are 2 types. One is alpha thalassemia, other one is beta thalassemia. In the case of beta thalassemia, obviously mutation in any one of the gene which results in the beta thalassemia, that is reduction in the process or production of beta chain in the hemoglobin. So that means for beta thalassemia there is less production of beta chain in the hemoglobin, less production of beta chain. Whereas alpha thalassemia, here I have written 2 genes which are closely associated. If you take the chromosome number 16, this is the 16, and here we have HBA1 gene, and below that we have HBA2 gene. That means HBA1, HBA2 genes are tightly linked. And here also same thing. HBA1, HBA2 genes are situated. Here on the chromosome number 16, for this one, for synthesis of alpha chain, we have a total of 4 genes. For the beta chain we have only 2 genes. If a mutation has occurred in one of the 4 genes, that leads to less synthesis or production of alpha chain, that results in alpha thalassemia. This is actually the thing to remember. It's very simple, and see, ultimately what you see is a very less hemoglobin is synthesized in a particular individual. That condition is called as thalassemia, which is autosomal linked recessive trait disorder. This is very easy. Please take the notes of it. That's it. The last autosomal linked recessive trait disorder is cystic fibrosis. Simple. It is, as I said, autosomal linked due to the mutation in the recessive gene, which when the homozygous condition of recessive genes takes place, that leads in the production of a certain mucus, like viscous like liquid in our lungs. As a result, it makes breathing very difficult. This is cystic fibrosis. I don't know where exactly the gene is situated, on which particular chromosome. If you can find it. Okay. As I have written one more thing, liver as well as the pancreas are also affected. So breathing is difficult, along with that liver and pancreas functions also affected. That's all about cystic fibrosis.